me share. Okay, hello, good morning. This morning I'll be discussing my goat traveling experience. That was one of the questions we have in our last class. Somebody wanted me to discuss my goat rearing experience. Now I try to bring out something so that I'll be able, because if I just start telling story, it might not look so much. So I just bring some topics that will make me remember, just briefly write down some things that will make me remember what actually was happening. Now, this is what happened. This picture was from my house when I've not started rearing the big goat stuff. You see, generally in the rural side, when we're rearing goats, there's a system that has been existing in the rural side for years, and the system is such that the system is such that mama, one woman in my, like me, I'll take a goat, I'll give it to my neighbor and say, okay, rear this goat for me. When I give my neighbor the goat, there's no specific agreement or anything. Just give the goats to your neighbor, and your neighbor will keep the goats. That's what we do in the rural side. So I'm sure some of you are used to that system and every other thing. So if somebody give me goat and say rear for me, I'll take the goat, I'll join it with my home goats that are here, and they're all free range, as in they only come to eat maybe in the morning, or when they come around, then they roam about the streets, the compounds and everything. So when the person now give me the goat, if the goat, whenever the goat give birth, if it give birth to one, the first one will be my home. If it give birth to two, I will take one, the person that gave me the goat will take one. Then if the goat is given, so that is how we'll be sharing, as in take one, I take one, you take one, till there's no specific agreement, there's nothing on it. And if the goats die, there's no issue about it. You just report to the owner and say the goat has died, and it's normal thing that has been existing in the rural side for years before we were born. So so it's a free range system, and you just give your neighbor. And especially when you have a goat, like I have a goat, my goat give birth first and I give birth to the second one, and I don't want to do inbreeding, I don't want to keep all the kids together, so I'll give it to another farmer and said, this is rear this goat for me, or that kind of thing. So meanwhile, as we were doing that goat, short, so on the farm, I do crop production, as in I'm a crop farmer and everything. And every time I go to look for manure, cattle manure, chicken manure, and all sorts. I'm always searching for it all around. So in 2020, it was not a planned project, it was not anything, and I just wrote it online. I wish if that system of rural area just came to my mind. I was like, if I have like 100 goats or 200 goats now, I'll be using their waste for my crop. That was my thought, and I'll be using their waste for my crop, and it will reduce the stress of going to look for it, or the stress of going to buy or whatever. You understand? And then I wrote it. I just wrote it on Facebook, and people say, I'm interested. It's a cluster system, and people said, I'm interested, and that was how the goat project started. And then I checked, then in my area they were selling goat for maybe 8,000-10,000, and so I told people, okay, if you give me 2 goats at the end of 1 year, when it gives back, we'll be sharing. There was no concrete, just like the way they were doing it in the village. That was my thought. You see, it was when I started buying the goat. I have a big compound, I have a space at the back and every other thing. It was when I want to start buying the goat. I've started buying the goat. It's come to me. I can't keep, if it's in the village, if my goat roam around and did not come back home, or the goat get lost, I can just tell the owner that the goat get lost, or it's not something really whatever. But I look at it, how can I keep this goat roaming around and everything, So I decide, okay, let me camp there. So I decided to fence a place. I got money. That's my person. And when I was telling them, I said there's no need for them to feed them. We were doing free range. So I didn't ask anybody to bring feeding money. I didn't budget accommodation money. I didn't budget anything. I just felt, not ahead. But then it occurred to me when I started that, I cannot free range all this their goats, because it's wanted to be much. I don't even know. It's just, and so I fenced the place and I started buying goats. One of my silliest mistakes is fencing the place. It was along the line. I'll tell you about it. Just watch up. Now, the cluster idea for manure, I just explained to you. I just felt, okay, you give me goat, I give you goat. To me, I felt I will have plenty manure. Tanya. Okay. To me, I just felt. Okay, to me, I just felt, you give me gold, I give you gold, that kind of system. And I just felt, okay, if I have plenty gold and if I have plenty gold, the goats, I will have manure to be free for my farm. That will be one of my own and then the kids will be sharing out. That was my thought. But I started, and people were contributing sincerely. It's not their fault, and there was more. It was even after the people started joining that they started asking, okay, what's the agreement? Can you come? Because it was not, to me, it was just no in the village, no agreement, no anything, and Then I have this mentality then that isn't all the normal goats, our local goats. What can happen to them? They are healthy. They are usually, you see, in my compound I usually have about 5. You can see this picture I showed you is goats in my compound. Yes, then when I did not fence my place then, because the goats just move around and walk around, I don't have to do anything special to them. It was when people's goats are coming to me that I decide, okay, let me fence them. I will give them food, I will do this, I will do that. But so that is how the free range system come around. Now the goat manure. See, goats, livestock manure are very, I do organic. I do organic in the sense that I don't use chemicals, I don't use NPK, I don't use synthetic fertilizers, I don't, so I grow my food purely natural, organic. And for me to boost the soil, you can see the soil, for me to boost the soil, for me to always wake up my soil, for my soil to be healthy, for my soil to be healthy, for my soil to, I need to consistently add manure, as in, it has the nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and the many agents and everything. It has them all combined. So I need to boost my soil. Okay, fine. So because I need to boost my soil that way, so I thought goat manure is a good one. See, personally, on my own, if I'd had enough food or have money, I would have gone for cow. You know why? Cow waste is good, and cow produce bigger form of manure than goats. But buying, the money I will use to buy one cattle, the money I will use naturally to buy one cattle, the money I was supposedly used to buy one cattle will have bought me about 10 goats. Yeah. Yes. So I felt, let me go for goats. Honestly, which goat manure is a very good, very rich manure for soil too, same as cattle. It's just, that was how the goat idea. Imagine if I asked people to start contributing cattle, the money is much and everything. So that was my initial thought. Now we started going to the market. This is the market. When we started going to the market, you see, every 5 days in my locality, there are goat and cattle markets especially. So you go to the market and you buy goats from the market. And so I was going to the market. We'll go early in the morning, we'll stay, because market people will just gradually be bringing the goats. And in the market, just as usual as fruits and vegetables, you cannot, the owner of the goat cannot sell the goats themselves. They have to be an agent that will help them sell, except if you block them on the road before they get inside the market. The market politics as usual, as the way it happens in the crop production, our markets and everything, where farmers have no access to sell their produce themselves. So fine, we're going to the market. I even commission somebody will go. Sometimes you get to buy 20. But you see, my intention with the goat was, there are different types of goats. There are the African dwarf goats. African dwarf goats are short, not too, I don't know, okay, I didn't put the picture here. African dwarf goats are short, not too tall and everything. They are very rugged islands, and they are the Hausa goats, the Malam goats that are tall. They are Sahel goats or whatever. There are different types of goats. But on getting to the market, because I want to buy plenty, because I want higher quantity, because I want I cannot be a bit selective, because when we get to the market, any day we go to the market, we sit down there from morning to night. It's a full day's work, because you're not just going to get everything at once, and then you start pricing and moving around, moving from this place to this place. So you cannot just get to the market and buy and turn back. No. So, and then you have, outside pricing, you touch it. I took somebody along, you will check it, test it, touch this one, touch the stomach, touch this, and it's checking for me, something of that nature. So we're always going to the market, and then whatever we get, we bring it to the house, and then we're bringing them to the house, and that was how we started. Now, this I wrote market one. My reason for writing market one is, as I'm explaining, I'll be telling you my mistakes and why I think I make that mistakes and everything. Now, it was in the process when my goats were dying. When they started dying, the goats were dying. It was when the goats were started. I will tell you how they become, but before they started dying, I realized it's not that I realized I know this market before, because I have friends that sell goats. But in their own case, they sell imported goats, like this kind of goats. I'm showing you this goat market too. Now, these people that are selling imported goat means their goats have been tested, their goats are not sick, you understand? Now, compared to this market, let me give you one instance here. Farmers, goat owners, we know. Let me ask you a question. If you have something, you have a chicken, you have a goat, you have a cattle that is doing fine and is producing, is producing for you, is giving you two kids, or it's doing very fine, will you sell it? No. So one silly thing I realized later is that most goats you see in the market, 80% are not healthy. Because the owners they are possibly giving the owners challenges. Maybe they've been giving birth to kids that die. Maybe they've not been performing very well. That is why the owners want to sell them. You will not take something that is producing for you, that is doing well. You will not take it to the farm. You will not take it to the market. I didn't understand that early enough. Now, the same thing, the only reason why you will get some goats in the market might be healthy is that maybe the goat owner is financially constrained. He needs money to do some emergency or everything. But aside that, they don't bring the goats. The people don't take that. I look at it personally. How would I take my goat to the market when it's doing very fine, or my cattle or my livestock when they're doing very fine? It's when they're giving me challenges. I remember when I was in Mina. One of my neighbors was saying one of my neighbors said I saw she has a chicken that was producing 10, 11. And I asked her, she said, if you see this, if I tell you this chicken story, said her sister was rearing it somewhere else. And then one day her sister said the chicken, every time it will rear, the kids and the chicks are not staying, they will die, or they will not, sometimes we will say the chicken doesn't know how to rear chicks. So she decided she wants to sell it. And the younger sister, which is my neighbor, went there and she said, give me, let me go and rear it. She said, but I want to sell it, it's not producing well. He said, give me. She took it home, she brought it to our home compound then when I was in school. And she started rearing, and these chicks performed well, as in was giving 10, 11, 12 chicks producing. You understand? Well, that one I've not really read into it. It could be environment, it could be feeding, it could be a lot of things. The same thing happened to livestock. Like the example why I brought that is that you will not want to sell anything that is producing for you. You only sell the things that you feel this thing is not good for me, it's not good. Especially the rural farmers, that's how they do. So in goat market too, for this, what I will buy in these goats, most of them might not be. They will look fine when you are buying them, but you don't know. So, and the goats, this one, they are well taken care of, and there are people rearing goats like this. They are well taken care of. Like if I'm to rear goats again, I will still rear the local breed. I'll tell you why. I'll still rear the local breed, but this time around, I'm not going to buy as much as I bought that time, because I bought as much as 300, 400 goats. I will not buy as much as that. I will just buy like 5 or 3, then give them good hygiene, take care of them, you understand what I mean, and let them be reproducing for me. Because see, in the process of buying, I brought this. They are from different areas, so they bring sickness. One might bring a sickness that affect all of them. So it's a whole lot of things that affect those goats there. So one that is sick that they've cleaned up and bring to the market, I bought it, maybe 2 or 3 of them, and they come and mix with healthy ones, which, like I said, healthy ones too are not really common, and then everything just got mixed up together. Okay. Dewale, ṣé ti lọlé? Okay. Tó bá ń lọ ya bíbá mo fẹ́ fi nǹkan ránṣẹ́ sí Rọ̀gbà. Lórí burúkú ni kíni, lórí burúkú.